Ну, не готово.
Yeah, well, I can see. I see that.
That's not a good answer. That's not a very good answer.
Выступать в развалинах средневековых замках. И как вам вот этот зал? Он подходит для этого?
As far as he knows, you're used to performing in some places like...
Go ahead.
We're going to transport this whole place into a medieval village.
Мы хотим превратить это здание в средневековую деревню.
Of our music is heavily relies on depth of melody, really, rather than just noise and loudness. When we start our show, it's pretty quiet, and then we.
To the days of Babylon, where magic ruled as king, the moon beneath the castle walls as the nightingale sings. The golden heart he gave to me, what happiness he brings. Like a star on a Christmas tree, as the nightingale sings. And so we live to do or die, we live to do or die. Back to the days of...
Okay.
Autumn is your favorite time of the year. Did you schedule it somehow to come to Russia in autumn?
Who told you it was my favourite time of year?
I read it on the site.
Oh, really? Okay.
Is this not true?
I think it changes. My kind of reasoning and my kind of opinion changes with the seasons. So autumn is a fantastic time of year. The only problem is winter follows. So.
But we arrived just in time to see the colors on the leaves changing. So
That's how you like Moscow in autumn.
beautiful. We're looking at the colors of the leaves today outside of the hotel window. And everything's changing very quickly, though.
Yes.
A little too quickly.
Especially the concrete.
Yeah, you're very fond of individual castles and Germany culture. There are no such here in Russia. So the question is, what places in Russia you feel close to your heart, you feel comfortable in? And another question coming together, are there any people you would like to meet in Russia, to talk to have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, I don't know, to talk about something here in this country?
I think just the, as we put it, the simple people, really. I'm not particularly impressed by so-called important people. I like the basic people in the streets. So I was impressed when we went to St. Petersburg and we saw lots of people just going to work. That to me was far more interesting than meeting someone that's so-called important.
I think one of our favorite sites, though, in Russia, which is probably not common for a lot of, I know when a lot of people come here, they always go to the Red Square, but one of our favorite sites was taking the midnight train from Moscow to St. Petersburg and looking out the window when the sun was rising and the snow was falling down and just seeing the simple way of life, the small houses along the track, and it really, that's kind of really what we look for more than anywhere else. We don't like looking outside and seeing a lot of pavement and big skyscrapers and lots of cities and lots of neon lights. We try to get away from all of that and go back into where the trees are very heavily dense and kind of get back to the simple things. So seeing that really brought everything back, yeah, to us, to our hearts. And I think the people too is also some of the folk musicians here are absolutely amazing. We were listening to some of the Siberian choral works, and they're just incredible. We play them around the house very often.
Yeah. I love some of the artists here. I love the way they paint with very vivid colors, lots of black and reds, which is very pleasing to the eye.
Have you visited any galleries here?
No, we haven't. The last time we were here, it was such a short period. We were kind of traveling around so much, and we've only just arrived yesterday. But we would like to go and see some artists, and I'd like to pick up some, hopefully some old instruments. I'm very interested in in shawms, the woodwind from the old period, and hurdy-gurdies, things like that. I'm not so interested in guitars, because I have all my guitars.
By the way, about Russian music, I've heard somewhere that you like it. Some melodies. And have you learned any melodies in Russian from Russian? Something that you could probably sing or hear.
There was just one, which I thought was called Samovar, but it's called Meadowlands, isn't it?
Oh, we incorporated that into a song, that's right. I think some of the most interesting things
How
about...
did that go? Is that kind of...
We actually made it into a song called Gone with the Wind.
We haven't done this in years. How's it go? Cheers, Alison. How's it go? Is it there?
Twisting, turning, all the winds are burning, leaving me without a name. How will we ever find our way? The snow is falling, and I can hear the frightened calling, fear taking over every man, life meaning nothing more than sand.
That was it.
So you already play Russian music, you don't yet sing Russian words though.
No, not yet, but we're working on it.
I say we should be back in this. Do you ever regret you were not born in the 16th century, for example, if you're so fond of the culture at that period?
I was. That's why I'm a little bit
He looks
older than
good for his
Candy.
age, though, doesn't he?
I was born in 1560. So I believe in reincarnation, and there are too many things that I like from that period for it just to be chance. I love everything about it, so it's just a magnetism to that period. And I think we've all been born before in different times, and we gravitate to those times. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about being born now, today, is that you can look back over so many times that have passed and choose what it is that you like about those things and incorporate them into your lifestyle today. So some people are very into Roman or Grecian types of things, and 16th century kind of Renaissance time period is what we enjoy the most. I think it's more the fantasy, the escape of being able to get away from the stress and the pressures of today and be able to kind of sit around a bonfire and be able to look up at the stars and ponder the mysteries of the universe instead of just clicking into a computer and going into this one-dimensional cyber world. That's not for us. But it's nice to have air conditioning. So we mix them both.
Except for the music, how does this new religion, this magic of the Mediterranean, influences your everyday life? What is your day like? Just a usual day. Can you describe in a couple of words?
Well, very often, we have a lot of friends that are into Renaissance and medieval music, so we'll meet them. And we have lots of friends that are into sword fencing. We do a lot of archery. The longbow, stuff like that. And we generally have talks and talk about the history of the Renaissance period, as well as playing all the music. A lot of our friends are also in purist kind of Renaissance bands. So it's quite a full day, isn't it? Plus eating breakfast.
I have to schedule that most important meal of the day.
Exactly.
Yes. And we come downstairs and we see our cats, very important, first thing. And usually what we do is we play and we sing, because I think when you're doing this type of music, and it's not the type of music to get you on MTV or to make you a fortune or make you famous or anything like that, when you're really playing something from your heart, it's not what you do, it's who you are, it's part of you. So I think that when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we want to do is go to the instruments and sing and play, and whether it's to the birds outside or to friends or to people that we don't know. Sometimes just walking into a restaurant or going to the beach and just playing, and we just enjoy it so much.
So what kind of restaurant, by the way? Well, it's not the question. Do you ever cook something from Peru you're so fond of?
Baked beans.
Wassail.
Maybe you, I don't know.
That's good.
We know what we do. We make, there's alcoholic drinks, of course, for Ritchie. That's his favorite food. But we'll make things like wassail from that time period, or mead, or dandelion wine even.
Is there a small recipe you could share?
Oh.
What is the wassail recipe?
It's very simple things like
Cinnamon?
cloves, nutmeg, that's right, and mixed with a type of ale, and right, you chop the apples together, and you let it all simmer on the stove for a while, and then you have it's like a spiced ale. It's very good for when the cold weather comes.
I have a question for Mr. Ritchie. I know that you've moved from England to the United States because of some financial probably things. What's your attitude towards contemporary America, towards what is called political correction?
Oh, that's a bit of a pain. I've noticed that a lot of people in America are a little bit nervous about mentioning anything to do with, if there's a minority, they feel a little bit on edge about talking about anybody because it's politically correct to say that everybody's the same, which everybody is the same. But there's obviously there's differences in the way people look. But it's quite interesting and funny to notice that you're not supposed to notice that anybody looks any different. Otherwise, you're a racist, or something. That's a little bit silly.
So, sorry.
That was it.
Do you consider yourself to be a political correct person?
No. I try to go against all the political correctness I can, basically.
And then, what is freedom to you?
Freedom is, I think, being able to walk down the street and walk into a field and play the guitar and make lots of money without the government taking it away.
Gold money, like in the 16th century?
Yes, it can be. I believe, I think one of the things that really bothers me about certain countries is the heavy taxation that they put on the people. I think, for instance, in America it's getting worse. That's why I left England, because of taxation. And I think it's only fair that the people pay only a certain amount of taxes to the government. When the government wants to take more than 50%, I think that's unfair, personally.
Everything seems to be so harmonical between you and around your life.
Yes.
Do you have any dreams? What else would you like to get in life or from life?
I would love to see more Renaissance music exposed in this world instead of people just wriggling. For me, I find it very tedious from a musical point of view, watching things on MTV, which is always the same. And it's always someone just wriggling and doing something, some sort of dance routine. And the music is always the same. I would like to see music a little bit more broad and more variety. And of course, in America, as in England, there's a little bit of ageism. Older people, if you're over 30 in England or America, you're considered basically too old to be in music, which is very interesting. Whereas if you go to Germany and a few other countries, you'll see musicians of any age group play.
By the way, why don't you go to leave to Germany, for example? It's so close to your heart.
I go there very often, so I don't have to live there. I'm always there.
I see. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, a couple of words. Well, it's kind of a tradition to people who watch the channel. What do you wish to the people who's going to see this interview, who's going to come to the concert?
I hope they haven't paid too much money for a ticket. And I hope they enjoy our music and we'll be trying to get back to the roots of music and there will not be too much wriggling on stage. We'll be trying to concentrate on the music, I think.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do really is just to, like we said, just to have this kind of escape and bring not only music but a bit of magic and mystery as well. So we're taking this path or this journey through the woods, and we'd like to invite them to come and take this journey with us, even if it's to escape only for a couple of hours. We'll see you then.
Well, I hope it's going to last and last and last more than just for a couple